Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Now, we are in a Tesla Model S. My neighbor Gene here is with me. He's the owner of the car. We're going to take this thing out for a drive. I've had a little bit of experience driving a Tesla before. I did a review of a Model S like a year and a half, or a Model 3 about a year and a half ago, but we're going to take this thing out for a drive. We're going to go on my normal route that I always go on. So, here we go. So we are moving.
Yeah.
Now, this car is a 100 dual motor. This car has like 370 miles of range, which is the most for any electric car. But yeah, this thing is gonna be have some impressive performance. And it's so quiet, obviously.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of freaky.
It's kind of eerie. Like I made the joke before that it would be easy for me to go to a Tesla because my Mazda doesn't really sound like anything anyway.
Yeah.
So when I take my foot off, I think the regen is pretty high. Wow. Yeah, that would take a little bit to get used to. But yeah, it just feels so smooth.
It is.
Oh my gosh, like already. Like I'm going 20 miles an hour and this feels already so smooth. Wow. And you really don't even hear that much wind noise.
No, it's very tight.
Wow.
And rides, I put it up against any luxury car.
Yeah.
Its ride is fantastic with the four-wheel independent air shocks.
Yeah.
It's
impressive. And just when you look at the screen, it shows your speed up at the top. It shows the Tesla in the lane. I'm gonna take the camera down a little bit later just to get a view here. But okay, so we just turned this regenerative braking to low. I think it was on standard. Yeah, it feels a little bit different, which is fine. I guess that's just a preference.
that's about the best you can do.
Yeah. So we're showing 321 miles of range. It shows you on the dash. Now I mentioned in the other video that on his phone it shows you where, the Tesla app will show you where all the superchargers are and where the other, non-supercharger charging stations are. But you can configure anything from his phone that will sync up to this car. As far as when you're going to charge it, how much you have. You can do the Sentry mode like I mentioned earlier, which will turn the cameras on if something's around the car. But yeah, just as far as driving goes, like we talked about earlier, the instant torque. I mean, it'll just go.
It does.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure this is a pretty heavy car too, but it doesn't really feel like it.
No, it is heavier. It's 800 pounds heavier than normal with the batteries.
But the batteries is the reason. Yeah, the steering feels nice sort of chunky feeling steering wheel.
Again, you can adjust the steering wheel if you don't.
Oh yeah.
To the tension that you want on the wheel.
Wow. Yeah, like I mentioned too earlier, when I was driving the Model 3, it just feels like you're driving the future sort of. A little bit. I'm gonna punch it just a hair.
Yeah, you can snap my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead, hit it. Hammer.
Holy shit.
Go ahead, hit it. Hammer.
Holy shit. Wow.
And the tires don't break.
No, not at all.
They just go.
Oh my gosh.
There's a ride in Disney World that shoots you off that I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's like reminds me of that same thing where it.
That was like the most aggressive acceleration I think I've ever done.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, you can turn around and do it again.
Yeah, I'd be able to get in the highway or do that again.
We don't have a lot of places we can do that.
Yeah,
but boy, I tell you, this goes up. I think the top speed on this thing is 150 something or 156 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I break 100 with the car, but
yeah. Geez. Good Lord.
But it's all the way through. The car does not run out of torque. So if you're doing 70 and you punch it, it's the same as doing 0 to 70.
Wow.
It just takes you from 70 to 100.
Yeah.
At the same rate of acceleration.
I mean, I could feel like that would be like intoxicating. Like you'd want to just do it.
Well, I catch it all the time.
Yeah.
Now imagine what the P is.
Yeah. And that's 0 to 60 in like 2
Well, and then he's going to
something.
break your neck when he have to sell neck braces when he starts selling the
plaid.
The plaid, and then of course on top of that with his sports car.
Yeah. Now even with that sort of launch we just did before, we've been driving for 5-6 minutes. I've only gone down a couple miles of range. I'm down to 317. But it's kind of interesting to see on the screen how it shows the car within a lane. It shows that car that just went by. Shows that car that just went by. And when I sort of got on close to the white line on the side, it just sort of, there was like a little ping of red.
Yeah.
So it always knows where you are. Okay, so I'm just going to hold the camera. I'm going to get on the highway and maybe do one more launch. But like Gene said, here's been our consumption for the last 5 miles. Obviously that was there. When I was braking a little bit, there's the regenerative, and it says like I have 315 miles of range, but projected range if you continue driving the way you've been driving.
Right. It averages it out.
Okay.
And of course it does it short term. There's 15-mile range. Okay. And there's 30-mile range. So if you're on a trip, there you're at 294. So you can expect you're going to lose
a little bit.
You're going to lose a little off of that. 17 miles off of that.
Now, is that what this graph is too here on the right?
It's the same thing basically.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my consumption.
And you can do instant or average too. This is averaging it. And
okay.
Now, if you do it instant, it's 279. See, we've been eating it up a little bit faster than average.
I see. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get on the highway one more time. Maybe give her the beans just a little bit. Okay, so down to D. I want to make sure nobody's in front of me because I might need some space. Now I think the visibility is pretty good. I mean, even in the back.
It is, yes, yeah. It's
not bad.
It's not too bad. There's a little bit of a.
Okay, here comes a truck. But yeah, you can see it go by on the screen. That's pretty cool. And I guess that's like sensors and cameras always working around the car, to tell you what's going around, which is pretty smart. I mean, you've got all these cameras and sensors, why not use them?
Now when you put cruise control on, your white lines turn red.
Oh yeah.
Or blue, I'm sorry. I think they turn blue.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, now here it goes. Alright, you ready? Oh my god. That is crazy. It's as aggressive as it is so smooth.
Smooth, yes.
I'm so amazed by just how easily I think that was done.
Yeah.
Wow. Gene, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if you can see on the screen, it shows a couple different, it shows more lanes because there's more lanes. Just when I was merging on the highway there was the merge lane and then 2 other lanes, which you could see the screen sort of morph into what it was. Wow. This is pretty cool. Okay, so if I'm going 66 and I just stab it a little bit.
Yeah,
oh my god. Yeah. You're right, it feels exactly the same if you were going from 10, 5, 10, 15. Yeah. Wow. That's I think an advantage of the electric, If you're in a car, it's going to downshift and give you a little bit of a delay, I guess you'd say.
Now, if you pull that same lever towards you twice, you'll get a beep. Now you're in
autopilot. Yeah.
Okay.
No hands.
No hand. No. You're in autopilot. Okay. Now it'll kick you out if you don't keep your hands on the wheels because it warns you that.
Yeah, I think when I drove that Volvo, like your car, it's like a little green.
Yeah, it reminds you.
Yeah.
But now you're in that mode because the other blue steering wheel. So now it'll.
Oops.
But now if you're in this situation here and you put on the right turn signal, it'll find a hole here for you and move you. You don't even have to do anything. It'll put you in that hole.
I'm not driving this car. It's crazy. I guess the only this car and Gene's other car, the Volvo S90, are the only autopilots I've ever driven. Now I'm gonna get over because there's somebody on my butt.
Just use the turn signal in the right lane. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Just let it go.
It just did it.
take off your turn signal.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, I don't think I ever. Yeah, that guy was looking at me. I don't think I've ever like changed lane with the autopilot. Or that is crazy. Now, obviously, this type of feature, if you're driving a car, you're still paying attention. I'm just sitting here paying attention. It's like I don't really have to have my hand on the wheel. It's just you're kind of like you're along for the ride, sort of. I think that aside from the launch, you know, when you're going nothing, I think the most impressive part of the car is how hard it does launch from like 60 miles an hour. Like I'm going 70. Wow, that's amazing. All right, one more little stab. Oh my God. I think you can say this car is putting a smile on my face for sure. All right, so we're back at Gene's house, and we're gonna put away the Tesla in its garage, and I'm gonna say this is the fastest car I've ever driven. I mean, just that acceleration, it just boggled my brain a little bit because I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew it would be fast, but this car is it's very fun to drive. I was smiling the whole time. The autopilot is impressive. The speed is impressive. I mean, just like I said before, what Elon Musk has done with this car. I mean, it's very intoxicating, and I want one now. So Gene said, get your piggy bank out and save for the Model 3. So that's what I'm gonna do. So thanks to Gene for letting me drive his car. This thing is impressive. I'm vastly becoming a big fan of Tesla. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. See ya.